Now, I know you all are kind of getting tired of this, but I have to say, I love Grand Theft Auto. Now listen, I know I've talked about Grand Theft Auto a lot in the past, and that I'm kind of obsessed over it. But hear me out, please. So Grand Theft Auto is the greatest gaming franchise of all time, but you guys already know that. You probably think that every Grand Theft Auto game is amazing, right? That they're flawless and perfect in every way. And while that is kind of true to an extent, there are some Grand Theft Auto games that aren't really the best, you know? The 2D Grand Theft Auto games aren't that good and they have not held up that well, but they did serve the whole franchise, and without them we wouldn't have Grand Theft Auto as it is today. And GTA 3 is outdated as fuck, but it also started up the whole 3D universe and also open world gaming as a whole, so you know, cut it some slack. And of course Vice City and San Andreas are outdated in their own ways but are still amazing games. But in my opinion, the worst Grand Theft Auto game of all time, Grand Theft Auto Advanced for the Game Boy Advanced. Now Grand Theft Auto Advanced was released on the 26th of October 2004, on the exact same day as Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I wonder why this game failed so much. Maybe because it was released on the same day as another big successful game? Just, you know, curious. So yeah, this game is a prequel to Grand Theft Auto 3. It takes place 1 year before the events of GTA 3. The game is about Mike, a small-time criminal working in Liberty City, working with a guy named Vinny. Then later on, Vinny dies in a car explosion. F in the chat for Vinny. And in the explosion, all of their money is gone that was going to be used to get out of Liberty City. So Mike starts working for several criminals around Liberty City, including 8-Ball from GTA 3. And then later on in the game, it is revealed that Vinny was alive the whole time. Oh my god! So then there's some fighting, a police shootout, 8-Ball gets arrested, setting up the events for GTA 3, and Mike is eventually able to escape Liberty City and live a good life, most likely in Scotland, because Scotland is amazing, and I respect the Scots. So, what are the good aspects of this game? Well, the graphics for a Game Boy Advance game are kind of impressive. Originally this game was just going to be a port of GTA 3, similar to how GTA 1 and 2 had ports on the Game Boy Color, but they realized that putting this onto this wouldn't be easy, so they just made a completely new GTA game and made it a prequel to GTA 3. But there's no mention of Claude or Catalina or Salvatore Leone or anyone like that, just 8-Ball mainly. And are there any other good aspects? The gameplay could have been worse, I guess. Alright, for real, I'm struggling to find positive with this game. Now I do love the Grand Theft Auto series so much, and I will defend almost every game, but I can't really defend this game. Honestly, it's probably the worst in the whole series. Like, it's impressive that they fit this whole game onto a Game Boy Advance, but that's the main problem. The Game Boy Advance was a very underpowered system, mainly because it was a handheld, and bringing a game like, let's say, GTA 3 and cramming it into a GBA card just isn't gonna work. Like, it is impressive, don't get me wrong, but it's very bad as well. The gameplay is really not good in my opinion. The controls and moving around feel very weird and clunky, and aiming with the weapons is terrible. The shotgun especially is complete garbage, and the driving in this game isn't much better either. Very weird controls and just does not work in the GBA. Like, I'll give them credit that they tried, but it's just kind of a mess, you know? Very glitchy and buggy. Now what about the story and characters? Every GTA has some memorable characters, like Claude, Tommy Vercetti, CJ, and Nico Bellic. And GTA Advance has Mike. He is a character, and a pretty shit character as well. He just hasn't got much of a character at all. He's just your typical GTA protagonist, nothing special, and his design is pretty bland. In gameplay, he just kinda looks like Claude. In fact, Claude is a much better protagonist. Even though he never says a word in GTA 3, you can tell how serious and dangerous he is, and how he's willing to kill anyone in his way. But Mike is just bland and generic. The other characters are really nothing special in this game. The only semi-memorable ones was Vinny. He was a kind of cool antagonist, and his surprise at the end was pretty cool. And 8-Ball, I guess. It's pretty cool seeing his backstory and how he got arrested setting up the events for GTA 3. And that's really it, if I'm gonna be honest. GTA Advance is easily the worst Grand Theft Auto game, but it's not a terrible game at that. It is one of those games where you can just sit in the car and play it and have a good time. It's not one of those games where you want to spend hours investing into and trying to unlock secret stuff. It's nothing good, but it's nothing amazing. But it's compared to Grand Theft Auto, one of the biggest gaming franchises of all time, so it has lots of competition. I feel like if GTA Advance was its own standalone game, and the other GTA games never existed, it would have been great. But sadly it has to compare to other games, and just really isn't that good in my opinion. Like I said, it's probably the worst GTA game out there, right next to the first 2D games. I wish I can say more about it, but I really can't. This game is just incredibly bland and generic. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video of me reviewing one of the worst GTA games of all time. And yes, I'm definitely planning on talking about GTA and Rockstar Games more in the future, because I fucking love GTA and Rockstar Games and I'll defend them to a cause. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one, lads.